Now, I know some of you may have some questions, like, John, why did this video take so long to make? Why haven't you posted in months? Why is your hair getting so long? Where's your car? Well, that's actually a good point, the car question, that is, because if we want to work on the old Beamer today, we're gonna have to get it up into this driveway. And it's actually just parked right down there in the street, so let me just go and get it. What a beautiful day it is. Can't wait to drive my car. Walking to my car. Unlocking my car. All right. All right. It won't turn on. Hello and welcome back to TechZek. My car won't turn on. I can't start my car. If you're new to this series, this is my 1989 BMW E34, and we've been fixing her up on this channel over the last couple of videos. And you might be wondering why I haven't filmed anything on this channel for months, but that's actually not true, because this video starts 2 months ago. There is something that really bothers me about my car. This is my E34, and no, it's not the dent I put in the hood, it's not the rust on the other side, it's not even the instrument panel that doesn't work. The one thing I wish was different every time I look at my car is the wheels. Now, I appreciate that these wheels are rare. They're the black Throwing Star M Style 21s, and I know that they're very cool on the car, and I know that they're one of 3 OEM time period correct wheels that came on this car. Ayo. But every time I look at it, I just wish it didn't have black wheels. I just don't like black wheels. Sue me. So today, I will be replacing my wheels with... what's in this box? What's in the box? Hello and welcome back to TechZek. This is a knife, and today I'll be using this knife to open this box. Yeah, I'm running out of ideas, guys. But inside this box are wheels for my E34. What will they be? M parallels, style 5s, perhaps some aftermarket wheels. All right, here is the big reveal, and bang! Oh, there's a piece of cardboard there. And bang! Okay, it's the wrong side of the wheel. All right, what wheels are going on the E34? We got bang! BBS style 42s. Oh, sweet. But John, those aren't from the 80s. Your car's from the 80s. No, guys, these wheels are from the 90s. Like me. And these actually came as an option on the E39, which is like one newer 5 Series than mine. They could definitely be like retouched a little, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe we'll do that in a future episode, but first, I just want to get these on the car, which means we need to get some tires. So I took the wheels to a local tire shop, and I knew I was in the right place because they had tires on the ground. And now with tires on the wheels, I rolled them to the backyard for a much needed cleaning. I got these wheels locally for pretty cheap, and I think they've been sitting a while and collecting dust, so I gave them a good wash down. At first, I was nervous about this red gunk coming out from the wheels, but I guess that's what happens when the soap interacts with the brake dust, so it's actually good that it's coming off. I cleaned them the best I could and was getting ready to put them back on the car when I had a surprise visitor. My dad. If you were hoping to see me struggle to get wheels on a car for the first time, get ready to be disappointed, because right off the rip, my dad started pulling some major dad moves. He brought me a bunch of new tools he said I needed, immediately made fun of my jack, and took me to the store to buy a better one. But while we were there, we picked up a bunch of new tools he said I needed, and we got to work. And by we, I mean he, because he was changing these wheels like he thought he was gonna get a percentage of the ad revenue from this video or something. And obviously, he knew exactly what to do. Loosen the bolts, jack up the car, take out the bolts, remove the wheel, put the hub-centric ring on, put the wheel back on, get the bolts back in, drop the car back down. He's done this a million times, and while he's at it, he'll take a look in the engine bay to sniff out any other problems this car may have. That's full dad mode. But halfway through the process, I got to take a look at the different wheels on the car at the same time, and it was actually pretty cool to see the car like this. And I immediately knew that I liked the new wheels better, but I couldn't make this video without doing something for myself, so I made my dad let me put the last wheel on. And everything went smoothly, but before I can end this segment, my dad wanted me to film this little video for you. Gotta reset this, guys, or it's gonna really mess up the calibration. Perfect, now it's at 0. Perfect for next use. And just like that, the car has new wheels. I personally love how they look, but do you guys think I made the right choice? Let me know down in the comments. So yes, a few months ago, I started this video by installing some new wheels, which by the way, I absolutely love. I know that the old wheels were probably more unique, but I didn't really like them, so that doesn't really matter to me. I actually sold them to a guy who'd been looking for those exact wheels for years, so it kind of worked out for everybody. But since then, my car really hasn't had that many problems, which I know sounds crazy because it's a BMW. I mean, at one point I got a brake light warning, so I replaced the brake light, but that only took like 2 minutes. But then some of you may remember that I had an air intake problem because there was like a little hole in this tube. Well, the official part finally came in and I replaced it, but that also only took like 2 minutes. So for the last couple of months, things have been going pretty well. Until last week. I was sitting on the couch with my fiance when we decided to go to Target. Let's go to Target. I walked out the door to start the car, sat down, and boom! Nothing happened. The engine wouldn't turn. So naturally, I texted my dad. He said, the battery is probably drained because you haven't started it in over a week. And that happens with old cars. I said, thanks, Dad. You're so old and knowledgeable. Like Yoda. And that brings us to today. And hopefully the problem really is that it's just a low charged battery, because that's a pretty easy fix. Oh, so I got this C-Tech battery charger from Amazon, and hopefully it'll bring this car back to life. So yes, the first thing I decided to do was to disconnect the battery from the car. I've done this a couple of times now, but for some reason it still makes me nervous working with the battery. But the biggest problem I had was that my car was all the way in the street, and the nearest outlet was in my living room. So with the help of Estelle, I ran the extension cord all the way out my window, across my lawn, and all the way to the car, and I was ready to set up the charger. All right, so negative goes on negative, positive goes on to positive. This isn't plugged into the wall yet, so hopefully nothing horrible happens. All right, clamp that on like that. Now the final step should be to plug it into the wall and see what happens. All right, I believe I did everything right. If not, this is definitely gonna go viral. I should just be able to plug it in and see what happens. Whew, all right, battery, let's come back to life. Oh, there we go, okay, good news. Nothing immediately happened. And the charger said that the battery was successfully charging, but I ended up moving it underneath the car because it felt like it was overheating. In the end, it took quite a bit longer than I was expecting, but it was finally ready to go the next day. All right, so I've unplugged the charger. All right, there's always a little puff of smoke when I reconnect this, which I don't love. All right, there we go, the battery's reconnected. So let's see if the car starts. Oh, all right, here we go. Come on, car, come on, car. Oh, please start. All right, here goes nothing. And oh, let's go! All right, the engine actually turned. I'm gonna drive it around for like 20 or 30 minutes now, get the battery charged up all the way, but that's good news. The car is running. So the charger got the battery up to about 80%, but I wanted to drive the car around for about 20 minutes to get the battery fully charged. So all right, for those of you wondering about my manual driving progress, I gotta say, it comes to me pretty naturally now. I mean, it makes sense. Like, believe it or not, it's already been 5 months since I've gotten this car. So I've been driving manual for 5 months now, and I'm not perfect, obviously. There are still some things that I kind of struggle with, like rev matching when I downshift or reversing. Reversing at all is just horrible for me. But let me try to do a little downshift here for you guys, a little rev match for you guys. All right, let's get on this road. Let me get it up through the gears here. Bang, into second gear. Up to 4,000 res, third gear, all right. All right, let's say I want to downshift into second here. I'm gonna go clutch in, down into second, hit the gas, and oh, that was actually pretty good. Nice and smooth. Well, all right, guys. Battery's charging, the car is running, things are looking up. But there's still 2 more fixes I want to make in this video. One is just a really annoying thing that I just have been putting off. But the second thing is a long overdue exterior update that many of you have been asking for in the comments. All right, I'm gonna drive around for, I don't know, another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll head back because I gotta make a couple fixes. So after driving around the block a few times, I brought the car home for some much needed fixes. Now, as far as car problems go, this is a pretty small one. My fuel door won't stay shut. It always swings open and closed while I'm driving. Now, the way it's supposed to work is that if it's a little closed, it'll like snap all the way shut, but I think the spring has like lost its tension or something, or there's something wrong with the hinge. So I got a new hinge and a new spring. I'm gonna try to install it and see if that actually fixes this. Because yeah, it's not a huge deal, but it's pretty annoying. Upon closer inspection, this is actually like cracked. Yep, that might be the problem. So I got to work removing the hinge, and because it was already broken, my only real goal was to get it off however I could. And of course, for me, that meant by accidentally breaking it. Oh, yep, okay. But once I got the door off, I took the rest of the hinge off the car and got to work installing the new hinge on the fuel door. Never in my life did I think I would be replacing the hinge on a fuel door. It slid on pretty easily, but I couldn't really figure out exactly how the spring was supposed to go. I watched tutorials online, but none of them were super clear. Eventually, I did get the spring on and went to reinstall the door, but then this happened. So how does this go back in? To go in like that? Oh, literally just like that. Stays open, and it mostly shuts. What? Why doesn't it close all the way? Oh my God, it's so close. Somehow I managed to make it way worse where I couldn't even close the fuel door all the way, so I had to take the entire hinge off again, but this time I knew I couldn't break it off because it was the only one I had left. So very carefully I pulled the tabs and got the hinge off again and realized I was putting the spring in the wrong place. This took me a while to figure out, but eventually I snapped it into the actual fuel door itself, and then this is what happened. Oh, please work. This is taking so long. Oh, nice. That feels sturdy.
And then this just goes in there like that.
Come on. Yes! I did it. Yes, let's go.
Why was that so hard?
I say this literally every video, but that's the one thing I keep learning, is that things are harder than I expect them to be. Well, guys, the sun is going down, and there's only one more thing I want to do on this car today. But believe it or not, that fuel door was pretty much the last thing that was like broken on the car, at least that I know about. There is this like very weird coolant smell every time I start the car, and that's probably not good, but I'll figure that out next time. But honestly, as far as I know, the car's in pretty good shape right now. So if there's anything you'd like to see me do maintenance-wise, or even any visual upgrades you'd like to see me make to the car, please let me know down in the comments. But keep in mind, I am trying to keep the car pretty classic overall. And speaking of keeping it classic, there is one final thing I have to do to this car that a lot of you guys have been asking me to do in the comments. Some of you may remember that the last owner put an M badge on the back of the car, but the only problem is this is not an M5. There's also like M5 decals on the door panels. There's an M badge on the gear shifter knob. There's an M badge on the gauge clusters. There's even an M badge right on the steering wheel. But as I said, guys, this is not an M5. This is a 525i, and I'm proud of that. And I think this car should be proud of that. So the final thing I want to do in this video is get the correct original 525i badge back on the car and get rid of that faulty M logo. Now, taking the badge off wasn't too hard, but I learned from last time that I did this that I need to remove all of the gunk before I put the new one on. Unfortunately, it wouldn't come off with just soap and water, so the next day I got some Goo Gone, let it soak on the gunk for a while, then very carefully got the gunk off with a plastic tool and my fingernail. This actually took 25 minutes and I still scratched the car, but hopefully the decal will cover it. Now, I love making these videos, guys, and people ask me all the time when new episodes will be, so thank you guys so much for watching and being as invested in this car as me. A lot of you probably know that this isn't my main channel here on YouTube, so sometimes I struggle to find time to get these videos out to you guys. But I'll do my best to keep working on the car, keep learning, and of course, keep enjoying it all. So thank you so much for watching. This has been TechZek, and I'll see you next time.